Okay, GECV is back, and I'm really happy and proud to present that I have Hollowae with me. Welcome, Hollowae. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
And thank you. It's nice to have you here. How you
It's
been
nice to
doing?
have you.
Are you well?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I had the day off today, so um I just did some self-care stuff. I took a shower, I made a nice meal.
Spend some time with Kevin.
Yes. I spent all day with Kevin.
Kevin's a dog, by the way, viewers. Okay,
Yeah.
first off, then, I know you originally from Connecticut, but where are you based at the moment?
I am based in Connecticut right now. But I have lived in New York 3 times now, so I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna go back.
Is
Um,
that where you see yourself in the future?
that's where I see myself. Like I don't want to die there. Like I don't want to live there my whole life, but I do want to spend more of my 20s in the city, I think. Yeah.
When did you first realize that you had a voice and you wanted to be heard musically?
Um, I mean, there's videos of me from when I was a kid, like 4 years old, singing "What Have You Done for Me Lately," Janet Jackson.
The moves.
And my favorite gifts as a child were like my aunts would burn me CDs, and they got me a CD player, and they used to make me different like mixtapes and stuff, but on CDs. And I just always I always loved it, and I was always trying to copy different things that people did. So I feel like I was really heavily influenced by that. Like I learned how to sing basically by listening to the music that they introduced me to.
When
So my whole since I was like 4 probably.
when did you first actually perform on a professional basis?
So I always did it in school. I was in a cappella groups and like theater productions, musical theater productions and talent shows, and I was the president of the music one of the many presidents of the music program in my high school, and we traveled, we did a TV show. So a lot of the things I accomplished were in high school. And then I would say when I turned 18, I started competing in just different local competitions. And when I turned 21, I got a job as a karaoke DJ. And that was like my favorite job I've ever had in my whole life. And from there, I used to learn songs every week that I wanted to learn for when I go to work. And I
Yeah.
would sing and I'd like dance around the bar and, just put on a show for everybody.
So you
And,
were good
I
at
made money doing it. This was before COVID. Um, and yeah, it was such a blast for me that I started really thinking about like, okay, do I want to be in a band? Like, do I want to be a solo artist? And I started putting myself out there and going to different showcases all around the state. And then when I moved to New York City last year, I started learning how to sing jazz, and I was performing at a jazz venue in East Village that it actually just closed down, but yeah, I just started performing everywhere. It kind of just all started happening at once.
Was it COVID then that kind of brought it a little bit to a halt with regards to being in New York?
Um, it was definitely challenging being in the city during COVID. I mean, so basically I was working at the bar and there was very high traffic, so I was building my social media following and my reputation, at least in the state,
Yeah.
at a pretty rapid rate. Like I was working really hard at that, and COVID closed down the bar, and I rent was really cheap, and my partner at the time and I wanted to live in the city, so and he was a singer too, so we just moved out there, and it was really hard, one of the venues that we worked at thrived before COVID, and nobody wanted to go see live music because nobody wanted to, be out and around people. But then it's like when you're an artist and you're in that environment, what are you supposed to do? Where's your outlet,
Yeah,
So
that's
I used to pack up my PA and put it on like a laundry cart that like has wheels, and I would
That's
pull
fun.
it through the subway and bring it to the parks and just perform on street corners and subway stops, and just have like a little shoebox out that said like, my name's Holloway, I'm an unemployed artist, like
Oh,
you
that's
know, if you
fantastic.
like my music, like, you know, you should check me out and whatever. And it was really fun.
Must be
Um,
quite liberating, that really.
yeah,
Being that
it
proud.
was hard work. I really look back at being just so tired, but I was definitely like, um, you know, I wasn't at my best, and it wasn't because I wasn't in a good relationship, or like the situation at home wasn't great, but as an artist and as a creative, that was one of the best times I've ever had in my life.
Inspiration wise as well, let's be honest. I mean, out of difficult circumstances come great lyrics.
Yeah, thank you.
So you found yourself in that respect. Going backwards to your, we said about the karaoke. With the, I've noticed you've done, and I really enjoy them. There's two covers in particular I think are fantastic. The Bright Eyes cover, Poison Oak, and Adele, Go Easy on Me. And
Yeah,
I've actually harked that Adele song about to friends of mine, and the feedback I get is phenomenal. It's rather a brave decision to take on an Adele track, but you really nailed it, didn't you?
thank you. Yeah, I learned that like in the hour that I recorded it. Like
Yeah.
I had no idea. I mean, I had some idea because I'd heard it on the radio. I
Mhm.
didn't know any of the words. I learned the bridge while I was recording it. Like I played the song back and she was like, I had good intentions. And I was like, okay, okay. And I like sang that part, listened to her, like I was going back and forth, like learning it as I was going. Um, and that's just because so on New Year's Eve, my current boyfriend had like a New Year's Eve event on his channel, and he wanted to like tune into me singing after the ball drops like they do like on TV.
Yeah. Good idea.
And yeah, and we were just trying to make it the most fun it could be from home during like, you know, all of this. So it was really fun. And but yeah, he wanted me to sing a song that reflected like the year and kind of kicked off the next.
Fair enough.
And everybody was telling me like that they really didn't know what I should sing because like it who wants to reflect on this past year? Like it was really hard. It wasn't a good year for like anybody. And I felt like that song, even though she wrote it clearly about a very specific situation,
Yeah.
I learned a lot about myself this year. And instead of like singing a song that was like completely like jumping around and like happy and glittery, I was like, no, like if we're gonna take a second all together to just like listen to something, I think that it should be something you know, where we can reflect and be hopeful for the next year, but also, you know, take one more moment like for 2021 and then let's
Done.
move on.
So
So
what the Bright Eyes track? How did you come across that, and why did you want to cover that?
oh, that's a great one. So Bright Eyes is my favorite band ever.
Yeah.
Um a family friend of ours gave me like a box of CDs when I was in middle school, I think. And it had like Less Than Jake, Radiohead, um Alanis Morissette. Like there was just a lot of good stuff that was like kind of all over the place. And I was really interested in like all this music that he'd given me. But what stood out the most was that Fridays album, I'm Wide Awake It's Morning.
Yeah.
And I mean, so growing up, I guess we all kind of listened to the same music together. And it's a beautiful thing, you know, like my family is just very musical and we share a lot of the same interests.
Yeah.
But I never really branched out that much because I was listening to the radio, listening to what my family was listening to. And I didn't have like an iPhone or anything yet.
So you haven't got any
So
influences at the
yeah, so I didn't have anybody that personally influenced me like emotionally or like struck a chord with me as like an artist as much as like I can sing the way that Christina Aguilera would or something because I was able to imitate her and understand her as an artist, but that doesn't mean that like I feel the same way as her,
Okay.
you know. So when I heard Bright Eyes, I have a Bright Eyes tattoo on my arm actually. Did I tell you that?
No.
Okay,
So this,
so
this was the song that really did get you then, wasn't it?
yeah, so this is not from that song, but this says no lies, just love.
And that's a line from one of that from Bright Eyes album.
Yeah. So I basically heard Bright Eyes, and it was the first time I heard music that
Was
sounded
visceral.
beautiful, but it wasn't like fluffing anything up. It was honest.
Yeah.
And it was his real experiences, which like really I felt like they really resonated with me, or at least my interpretation of what I was hearing because I was very young.
Yeah.
And it changed me like forever. And the reason that I got the No Lies Just Love tattoo, the tattoo artist messed up, and the bird was supposed to be yellow to represent the yellow bird from the album.
Yeah.
And it says No Lies Just Love because there's a song where um he's talking about his suicidal thoughts and his like suicidal depression.
Yeah.
And it's also it's very seasonal. Like he really struggles in the wintertime. And he talks about the beauty and like things that are completely pure and honest. And he's talking about wanting to end his life and seeing all these things happening in front of him that just really hurt him in a real way. And then he says, like, I sat watching a flower as it was withering. I was embarrassed by its honesty.
Wow.
And that really hit me hard.
Wow.
And then basically he decides that he's going to kill himself. And his brother tells him in the morning that he's going to have a baby. And he decides that for the baby, he wants to help create a world that's as pure as that flower and that's, you know, as bright as snow and as light as gold and pure and all these things. And he says that when they open their eyes for the first time, they'll see no lies and only love. So that's why I got the tattoo, and I really love Bright Eyes a lot.
I can tell that's powerful.
Yeah.
That really is. Moving on a little bit, I've noticed that you've the relationship you have with Max Civils, who's recently been on the show as well. Wow, the video hurt people.
Yeah.
That
Oh
was,
yeah, the video.
that was dark.
Okay, so I had met Max I met him in January of last year, so we've only worked together for a year, but we've done a lot together in the
Quite
past
effective,
year.
isn't he? He's a good person.
Yeah. So yeah, we met through a mutual friend, and I started doing like stand-in roles in his music videos, and he asked me if I wanted to be like, you know, like an actual actress in the music video, and I was like, if sure, like if you want me, like yeah, sure. And he said, "Okay, well, how do you feel about cheese?" And I was like, you know, I don't love it, but like I can eat cheese, like that's fine. And he's like, "Okay, well, here's my idea." And you've seen the video, so you know what happens in the
Yeah,
video.
yeah.
But it was made out of mozzarella cheese, cornstarch, and red food coloring that he like sculpted into a heart and everything. And the shots where I'm ripping it with my mouth and like breaking it, I'm literally eating cheese that's just sopping with like,
Cornstarch.
yeah, just gross. And I'm just, you know, I've never been, had never been asked to do something so like, you know, out of the box, but I really do think that acting is really cool, and I haven't had that many opportunities to try it. So I totally wanted to do it, but I wanted to deliver. So I was like, I'm eating the cheese. Like, it's gotta happen.
Yeah, he's good exposure. I'm just gonna do what I need to do.
Well, not it's good exposure, but like, you know, I want to do it, and I was happy that he'd chosen me to do it. And I was like,
It's actually a
if he
great track.
chooses me, I gotta deliver. Like, I just gotta make it happen.
Yeah, it's a great track as well. A fantastic video. For
Yeah,
people out
it was
there who
great.
don't know, just check out Max Civils with Holloway. It's called Hurt People, so you'll find it on all social media platforms. It's the video is just super duper dark. It really is.
Yeah.
Lots of knives and blood and gore and stuff and open chest wounds and things. But it's quite clever. Moving on to Mic Check. Mic Check was something completely different. It was a real like eclectic kind of semi-jazz hip hop breakbeat to it, wasn't it? Really, I mean, it was
Yeah.
quite a different thing. And then your vocals at the end, again, just went off on a tangent. You wouldn't actually expect that delivery, but it was again, it really did work.
Oh, thank you.
Give me a moment. Looking at your releases from 2021, um, Drugs, Hail Mary. How did those two tracks in particular, how did they come about?
I'm sorry.
The two tracks from 2021,
Mm-hmm.
Hail Mary and Drugs.
Okay.
How did
Um,
who was collaborating with you there in terms of like production wise?
so for Hail Mary and Drugs, so for both songs, it was produced by the same person.
Yeah.
His name is T Biggs. He's a producer over in Southington, Connecticut. He's great. I absolutely love the way that my vocals sound with him. I feel like I found my sweet spot, and like I don't want to stop working with him ever. Like he's really, really good.
Yeah.
Um, he really appreciates the fact that I don't want to put a lot of like processing on my voice because I do want to sound something that really bothers me with artists is like when you hear them singing live and they don't sound like they do on the track. It really, really bugs me.
Yeah, me too.
And when people say, "Well, that's a really difficult thing to do," I'm like, I don't know, then you should learn how to do it or not like
Not,
I just really don't like that. I really don't like that. So I really want to make sure that whatever I do in the studio sounds as similar to me as possible.
yeah,
And he still manages to make it sound like industry quality, but I still have like integrity in my voice, and I think that's really important. So yeah, that's him. He's great. Both of the songs were written in collaboration with another artist named Back and Forth. Um, Drugs was written the actually the version of Drugs that's on Spotify is not the same version as the original. I'm not sure if you've heard both of them.
I'm not sure. I have got the ones on Spotify. I have listened to some Drugs on
Yeah. So there's two versions. One of them was recorded in my best friend's basement during quarantine.
Ah,
The original track, I recorded the vocals and I sent them to my producer at the time, and he tried to like, make the best that he could with like my crappy mic that's like low quality to say the least. Um, and so there's that version, and then when things opened up again, the last week that things were shut down, I was like, I need to record the song. It's driving me crazy. Like, I really need to record the song. And I like masked up and I like Cloroxed the whole booth and was like, I'm doing it. I gotta get this done. I love this song. And
I do love the song as well. It's excellent.
yeah, so we made it happen. Hail Mary, that one cuts a little bit deep for me.
Ah, okay.
Um, but it's a really good song and it's basically about two people who they fell out of love, but they continue to look back for some reason. And they're like playing out these scenarios and they're struggling, they can't sleep, they're not sure how to continue with their life, but they know that this needs to be the end of this.
Yeah.
Even though um it's probably best for them to part ways,
Oh, I
you
know
know.
that feeling.
Yeah. So, and yeah, it's just about like how deep like a relationship or a breakup of any sort, whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, anything,
Yeah.
when they have to end for the better, that feeling of like, you know, I feel like when somebody's brought to their knees and they decide to pray, they're at a certain point.
Yeah.
And in the original version of the song, the other artist that's on it, Back and Forth, when we're singing I've been counting sheep for hours, I can't fall asleep
Yeah.
together, he's saying the Hail Mary prayer underneath it, and it's like reverbing while we're singing together. And it's not included in the final cut loud enough for you to hear it,
Yeah.
I don't think. but it's there, and that's kind of why that's there.
I'll look for that actually. I'll see if I can find that. Are we expecting any videos of this? Because that from what you just described as a picture board, that goes perfectly to make a video.
Yeah, I'm
Powerful.
not sure. It's not really, I'm kind of in a tough spot financially, so I'm not sure when I'll be able to start making music videos that are produced well, and that's kind of why I've been holding off.
Okay.
I just know that when I do make videos for my songs, that I want them to be as close to like a perfect vision as possible, just so that it's transparent and good quality and people pay attention to it. And I want to wait until I can invest in that. So
Is that would you say is that the same kind of? Are you looking at 2022 to bring out an album?
I would, yeah, I want to focus on writing more music and really building my reputation as an artist and connecting with more people. I think that that's important. And with that comes the opportunities to, work with people who want to work with me, make more videos, things like that.
Okay.
And that's why I'm very grateful for the opportunities that I have had with Max, because um, he's just a really smart person, and he has created a lot of networking and pieces and experiences for, I would say, all the people that are around him.
I like the way he almost celebrates his losses as well as his victories. Uh,
Yeah.
he said something quite poignant where there was a well-known artist that had been depressed for the first 3 years of his career, but then made it big. But he didn't see that first 3 years, so it
Yeah,
didn't.
where was it?
Well, no, there was no connection.
Yeah.
So I've been making sure, like you guys do, where everything's logged and everything's shown. At least your journey is there for your fans to see when the time is right. And you do. I do believe yourself. Everybody that I have on my show, I have an interest in. I hope that they make it. Um,
Thank you.
and I see. I've shown people your video, your music. I've shown people from Max's and Jesse James Scott. I think Len Lama is an absolutely incredibly talented guy as well. It's like a little collective in New Rochelle. So I
Oh,
think
wow.
I think you're in good company being with Max and within that little eclectic group that he has.
Yeah. It's been
Okay.
really great working with him, and the people that I've met through him have been so talented, and it's like insane how talented they are, that like all the people around him, and
It makes a mockery of
as a
that.
group, I'm sorry.
No, go on, it's okay. Go on.
I just feel like there's so many moving parts to this community that we've built, and it's all because Max kind of pieced it together and was like, we can do this and we can do this and we can do it all, kind of thing. And he really believes in being an independent artist, and has done a lot to kind of like um just be a role model for somebody who really does, say, I'm going to be independent and these are the things I want, and I'm going to figure out how to do them, even if it means that sometimes he does take an L.
Yeah, yeah. Moving away from your music for a moment, you've actually got like a little bit of alter ego with your gaming on your Twitch affiliate, haven't you?
Yeah.
Bring this up. How do you get
I'm
into?
sorry.
I have to bring this up about your Twitch affiliation with your gaming. Is this
Yeah.
something you actively pursue?
Yeah, I don't ever really know. Like, I'm sure when I'm 80 years old, maybe I'm not going to stream anymore, but I don't see myself stopping streaming anytime soon. I started doing it in May, I believe, or June. And I really have to give credit to my boyfriend for this, because he's a Twitch partner,
Yeah.
and he's very, very well loved and like known by, some larger communities on the internet. He's actually signed to T-Pain's Nappy Boy Gaming.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's just really talented, really funny, and really inspiring. And I expressed all these feelings with him that I had about, my mental health and music, and some struggles I've had throughout my life. And I really just told him that the biggest thing I struggled with was finding people who actually want to hear what I have to say, or like people who care what I'm doing, because in a totally not egotistical way at all, I just know that I have something that I want to give to people, and I think that people would want, but I don't know how to reach them, kind of thing. And he I had been watching his stream and very active in his community for a few years. And so I had met a lot of friends along the way and other people that were streaming, and I supported their streams and always just hung out and took part in their events and stuff like that. And excuse me, I told him that I thought that I might want to try it one day, but I wasn't sure. And excuse me, that I thought that maybe like I wasn't good enough to do it. Like, I brought it up to him, and he's one of the first people, which is crazy because I worked with a lot of people who really did believe in me,
Yeah.
but he was one of the first people who I really felt like they believed in me and saw something in me and like wanted me to do something with what I have. Like they saw what I wanted to give.
Yeah.
And his best friend gave me a computer that he built, and my boyfriend bought me like my stream deck, and I saved up for all the other pieces, and we put together my stream, but I didn't always have the equipment that I have.
Yeah.
I used to stream from my laptop, and it was like an HP laptop.
That's
And then
difficult.
somebody donated like a gaming laptop to me, so I used that. And then now I have this, and it's just completely changed my life, really, because I met all these people that were already my friends, and I said, "Hey, I know that we've all been like watching all these people that we really love, but like I want to share something with you, basically, like because I never really talked about myself or my music or anything like that. I just
Really?
kind of hung out with them and like wanted to be a part of something. And everyone was curious, so people were just stopping in and listening to me. And in 2 weeks, I became an affiliate, and it just started going from there. I started getting to play games with people that I never thought I'd get to play games with, who I'd only ever watched on my phone. And my boyfriend is just absolutely an incredible entertainer, and I really, really look up to him. And
Oh, that's very.
yeah, it's been great. It's changed my life, I think, for the
Oh,
better.
looking. I've noticed where you've done some modeling. Is that something you're going to branch out and do again?
Done some
Modeling.
modeling, yeah.
Yeah.
I love modeling a lot. I wish that I had more work as a model, but maybe with time. But I really, really love the idea of pictures. I always have.
Yeah.
Like ever since I was young, and the first time that I got a hold of an iPod Touch that had a camera on it, um, I was always just taking videos and taking pictures, and I wanted to be the kind of person that could easily remember their memories and look back at them and have something to hold from them. Um, so so yeah, being able to kind of just show somebody a message with only me, and like not saying a word, not singing a word, makeup or no makeup, no matter what I'm wearing, being able to just give you the message,
Yeah.
I think is something really, really cool about modeling. And it's also something that even if I never got paid to do it ever in my life, I probably would never stop. It's a visual art, in my opinion. I think it's
Sure.
amazing.
Looking forward to. Are you looking forward to next week? I mean, I know you have a show coming up on the 22nd.
Yes.
You got the votes in, I believe, on across the social media platform.
I did, yes. I'm really excited. I have my set list ready. So I've just been like, I haven't practiced it on stream yet. I do perform music on stream as well, not just gaming. But I haven't practiced it on stream yet because I'm just like running through it
Yeah.
by myself and like dancing around and like being, trying to give it as much energy as I would give it on stage. And I feel like I can't sit here and like sing it in one place on stream with like my webcam, you know. I want to like perform it. So, but I'm really excited. I'm excited that Max and FCAT are gonna be there and then I'm gonna get to work with them again. um, I had a really great time with them in mic check. And yeah, I'm gonna be seeing a lot of people that I haven't seen in a long time that are coming from kind of near and far to come and see us. So I'm really, really excited, and I haven't been able to perform to a big crowd like this in a long time. So
Well, good for you. I'm glad to
I'm
hear.
pumped. Thanks.
Do you have any like aspirations wise in terms of merchandise and clothing, fashion label?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm having some merch designed right now, and it's sort of an artistic concept. I'm having one of my friends who's an artist drawing me something. Um, so I want to sell that, but I'm not really going to be pushing to sell my merch or anything for profit as much as I just want people who support my brand and like what I do, if they would like to buy something just so that they can have, you know, when I really like an artist and they come out with a shirt, I want it because it has, you know, something pertaining to their brand or their name or something that they like on it, you know. So I want to make merch, but I want everything that I come out with to be very authentic and not just something that I threw out
Generic wide.
to sell
Yeah,
things. If that makes sense.
it does indeed. Before we wrap things up, is there anybody you'd like to give any shouts out to?
Um, I mean, I kind of shouted out my boyfriend already, and that's who I was going to talk about. Um,
What's your boyfriend's name?
his name is Michael Lopriori.
Hi, Michael. How you doing?
He has a podcast and he also is a streamer on Twitch, like I said. Him and his brother have a weekly podcast that's like really, really funny.
What's the
And
name of it?
it's called the Lopriori Podcast.
The Lowberry.
Lopriori. It's their last name, so it's Lopriore. Lopriori. Um, but yeah, so they have a podcast and they're really funny. And my boyfriend used to be on Vine
Yeah,
way back
way back.
in like, you know, yeah, way back like 10 years ago or something, 2014. And yeah, he's just really funny and I really look up to him and I really feel it's really hard when you're in a similar industry with a partner typically for people.
Yeah,
Like I usually only date artistic people or only date, you know, people that perform or do something along the lines of what we do.
of course.
And I've often felt that there's like a feeling of like competition or jealousy or something, like there's a rift, especially, you know, if you're a female, you have like males in your audience. If you're a male, you have females in your audience,
Yeah,
etc. But I don't really feel that way with him, you know. I feel very supported by him. I feel I really love what he does and support him and want to hype him up as much as he hypes me up. And it's
respect.
just really great to be able to support each other and bounce ideas off of him. And he has a lot of wisdom about how things work because he has put in a lot of work and he's done this a lot longer than me. So I really look up to him.
Anybody else?
Well, Max, of course. And my best friend, Rayvon. I don't know why I just started like instantly tearing up.
I
But
could see your eyes then, I must admit.
he
And Kevin gets a shout out.
Kevin, of course. But yeah, he's just been my rock through everything. I mean, I've lived all over the state, well, all over this region of the state.
Yeah,
I've lived in New York, but 3 different places in New York. And you know, I'm the kind of person who I have a very free spirit and I am very optimistic and I'm very determined to reach my goals. And with that comes a lot of failures and a lot of like need for support.
for sure.
And no matter the situation that I've been in or how far I was or what was going on, with a reasonable warning, he was, you know, he's
There.
always going to try to be there for me and like bail me out. So yeah, I'm really grateful for him, and if I go up, he's coming with me.
You're so
And he's just
humble.
gonna get paid to be around me because I need him.
Well, it's been lovely having you on my show. I really enjoyed it, and I will have you back on one day soon.
Thank you so much. I've had a great time talking as well.
Thank you. You take care.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.